Thank you all for coming out today. How many people are here for the first time this morning? Nice. Big crowd of new folks. Well, I sincerely hope you'll enjoy it. I suspect you'll enjoy it. But if you don't enjoy it, there's delicious free Caflo coffee out there. Let that be recompense for this hour of your life. This is 1 million cups for those of you who haven't been here, and a reminder for those of you who have. It's our weekly event where 2 startups from the community come up here and present. They show you what they're building here in Tampa Bay. They have 6 minutes. They explain their product for 6 minutes. Then there's 20 minutes of Q&A from you guys. You are responsible for coming up with incisive questions, making suggestions, and most importantly, making connections for these entrepreneurs to help them grow their business here. My name is Sean Kennedy. I'm an organizer with 1 Million Cups, along with Marianne, Chris, Danielle, and in absentia, JJ Roberts. We also have Carly, as usual, hiding behind the side here. Carly is the person who's responsible for actually putting this together, doing all the work, and most importantly, the great weekly emails we send out that tell you about the companies that are presenting here, tell you how you can help them out, how you can contact them, and give you a preview of what's to come. If you're not getting those emails, there's a sign-in sheet by the door. That's what we use that for, just to give you the info about Million Cups. I would encourage you, if you are not getting those emails but have signed up before, try getting block lettering. Sometimes it's hard for us to read. Without further ado, though, I will shut up and pass it over to John, who is all the way back. John?
In the entire front row of the hall, half the front row there is open if anybody's standing in the back.
Good morning, I'm John Haynes from Caflo. I'm going to tell you this morning about dogs, bones, apples, and a little bit about advertising. There is a QR code on here. Those of you who have a QR code scanner, I'll tell you that code is going to appear again on the last slide in case you want to scan it and get to that code. When I was in high school, we had an apple vending machine just outside the gym. I like apples. I really like apples. But I typically didn't have the time to buy an apple out of that machine. It was a while ago, but it's the only time to buy that apple. Somebody figured out that there was one place on the side of this machine that you could hit it. You could dispense it for the apple. I'm not saying whether I ever hit that machine, but it was pretty nice that you could get an apple for free there. I always liked it. As a little boy, I pictured myself sitting in one of those. But living in the Los Angeles area, there really wasn't much of an opportunity to go pick apples off of the tree, and I didn't have the diamonds, as I say. So I'll ask you, how many apples would it take before you decided that being in the apple business might make sense to you? Suppose I said there's a $15 billion opportunity, you wouldn't care whether it was apples or anything else. You really wouldn't care what it was. Well, as it turns out, we're not going to be talking about apples so much, but we are going to be talking about a $15 billion opportunity that is sitting there waiting for change to happen. And we think we've got just the right place to hit that machine on the side and get a lot of that $15 billion. Last year, advertised their banner ad. I can see their site. So I've got an apple here with a bite taken out of it. It's pretty rotten. And that's really the way the industry feels about banner ads. They recognize that they're effective, but nobody has come up with a better way to do it. Do you see this as a problem or as an opportunity? The industry sees it as a problem. We saw it as an opportunity. These are some of the formats of banner ads. This isn't meant to be all on one page, but you'll find pieces of these. This one up here in the upper right, you see at the top of the web page when you go to it. This one over on the, just below it on the right, the medium rectangle, 300 by 250. That's a common size. But the click-through rate is really only about 1 in 1,600. And in fact, when fully half of those clicks are accidental, it's pathetically low return on those banner ads. They're a nuisance. So, what we've done is to give people a reason to look at those ads. We have pending patents on the way to do that. This is the hand recycling machine. Instead of this little banner ad here, and the proportions are actually right. If you look at the This ad is proportioned to this entire space out here. This is the ad space on the right that we deliver when within our game for an end user. We can get an advertiser's message much more completely in this space. Full display ads, 100 times the number of pixels that this little banner ad has. We demographically target by gender, by age, and by zip code, which you can't do with those banner ads. We guarantee a 15-second average viewing time on that full page display ad. I'll show you how we do that. And we get 5 to 10 times the click rate of real intentional clicks. Our ad is never shown to anybody who didn't want to see the ad, because not necessarily for the ad content, but for the way the game proceeds. Okay, this is the ecosystem of the internet advertising business. We have advertisers on one side, we have website owners on the other side. We have this dotted line that really separates. We're all familiar with search engines, and that's what we use to find things. And that's another line. Help people find a product or a company. Search engines help you get there, like Google or Bing. And there are SEO companies that make a market on trying to help you do better in that environment. Well, the website owners tell people about products, companies, promotions, and deals with those banner ads. You go to see a news site, there's a banner ad there. Well, the banner ad is really what's paying for that news site, paying for the content that you're getting. There are ad networks that aggregate the website owners and the advertisers, sit in the middle to facilitate that. There are ad agencies also that broker this. This is the way that it exists now. What we do is to stick a game in the middle of that whole process. And that game can be fed with ads from ad agencies, actually directly from advertisers as well, from the ad networks. And then our game is available through those websites. The game is real simple. There is a game board. It has 25 tiles on it. And we want to turn those tiles into bones. The bones are hidden on ads. This is an example of at least 2,000 pixels wide. It can be up to 4,000 pixels high. And you find the bone, you bring it back to the game board, and there we are. So the game board and the game. Playing the game, the reason that we give people is that we give real cash and very large prizes. People who find bones the fastest will get a high score, a low amount of time, and that's the incentive. You play the game to win real stuff, not just badges and points, but to win real prizes and real money. And money is paid for through the advertising. No. Yes?
Would you be able to put the codes within DFA to get the analytics, or does your company provide analytics on how the actual ads are performing?
We provide the analytics. The game has tools built into it. We actually hide 10 bones in every ad, in strategic places. We only deliver one of those bones each time the ad is displayed. So if you see the ad the second time, bones could be where you thought of it. You'll go there and look and see that it's not there, and you look further. What we do is to get people's eyes going through that message and watching the ad. So we have tools to do that, analytical tools as well. Yes.
So how are you finding clients for this?
Go back to this. We sit in the middle here, and nobody's used to having anything else there. We need to get to ad networks, and we need to get to advertisers. And one good place for us to do that is with print publishers, people like Caflo, or the newspapers. The print industry has been hurt very badly by the internet. In fact, the thing that's, you wonder what has happened to your newspaper, why it got thinner and thinner, and why it got skinnier. It was all because of Craigslist taking away their classified ads. Print business is trying to find a way to replace this. They're sending their salespeople out, trying to sell their traditional print. But in the process, they're trying to sell them search engine optimization and social media marketing and things like that. But they really aren't experts in it. So we give them a new product to sell. We're looking for introductions to print companies, to advertising agencies. It is a different format. they're used to placing those little banner ads and then leading people to the website. We have this full page display, so it's a little different. We have some education to do with the marketplace. We launched this with radio stations in a number of Midwestern markets. That was our beta testing. And now we're taking it nationwide in primarily in the publishing industry. Questions?
We had a presentation here a couple of weeks ago from, actually the second presentation from a company that makes kiosks. They put it in shopping malls, they gamify those for coupons for products and things like that. And I believe they're in the room right now. I'm not sure what their plans are for a broader online presence, but is that something that may be a complementary thing for you, something to collaborate with?
It is. We're looking for partners, we're looking for investment, and we're looking for connections to the print industry. If you scan that QR code, it'll take you directly to download the game onto your smartphone or your tablet, and you can also get it through the internet at bonus-game.com/Powerball, which is you can register to play the game. You have to be registered in order to win. And when you register, we capture that demographic information, the gender, zip code, and age bracket. But we also capture the email. We only use that to notify people about when they want to get their friends. There is a demo game that you can play without ads. You just go in and say, I want to play a game. You don't have to look at any ads. It comes up with pictures, and it becomes a hidden object game where the objects are always bones. They're hidden in pictures where they're hard to find. Yes?
Since Sean brought it up, I'll use that as a segue. I was going to track you down after this and suggest there was some real synergies for a partnership potential there. So
sure.
If you have a formal invitation to come up as early as tomorrow, if you can.
So you said you did some beta testing on some radio stations already. How many million impressions were made? What was the click-through rate on those impressions? How much money was awarded to people who visited the website? How much money did the radio stations make? What are some of the metrics around your kind of your beta test that gave you the confidence that said, okay, now I want to take this to the next level?
There were two things that happened with that beta testing. One is we learned a lot of things that we needed to improve in the game, and we've done that. This is an entirely different version of the game. Two, we learned that radio stations aren't necessarily the best market. We went to them first because they got a microphone. We were talking to people, and they're giving away 2 tickets to the Rays game for whoever's the 10th caller, or whoever answers the trivia question of the day. They do that. They're already giving away things. But they're also trying to drive people to their website. And what we found is that the websites weren't effectively driving people there. We did have 5 to 10 times the click-through rate of real ads that are on their site. So that's where we come up with this. But we recognize that radio stations won't be the best market for us, and that's why we've done. We've got some statistics, but they're really in a different.
Yeah, just feedback. I think in your presentation, this is the click-through rates are 1 in 1,600 on a traditional ad.
Yeah.
We created this game. We did some testing. It was out. There were ads out there for a 3-month period. They sold 10 million impressions, and we had 1 in 800. Some data.
Yep.
What are your expected revenues? Do you have a plan in the coming couple of years?
I've got a business plan that I'll share with investors. And it has projections based on, there's a sensitivity analysis there that shows if you change any of the parameters, what happens to the business model. It's actually a lot cheaper to advertise within the game. If you look at that game board, while it has 25 slots on it, we take up 5 of those with these billiard balls. And there's a shuffling that takes place. Those billiard ball positions help determine what kind of prize you win. There is a randomness. If it takes more than 30 seconds to find the game, it times you out, you stay on the ad, and you can click off of it. But if you come back to the board, all those bones that you were nicely putting in a row, it's shuffled. So we have a ratio of about 2 to 1 of picture tiles versus real ads. so that people don't just get an ad experience, they also get a picture experience. Yes?
Why one game? Like if the idea is you want to engage customers by getting them to play a mini game inside banner ad, like why just this one picture search game? And why not just like a platform of games that the advertiser presumably could choose from?
Well, this is, as I said, we have a different theme for the radio stations. It can be any kind of a game. Our patent really is on making, looking at ads into a game. We don't just stick ads into a game, and being involved with the ad is the game. And that's the basis of our patent. So it applies to any kind of a game. We get creative, talking with an investor now who comes out of the gambling business and got poker game stuff, and it'll fit anywhere. The idea is to hide an object in the ad, and have somebody have to go through the ad to look at it. Any permutation of that would come like that.
Is there any research on consumer behavior and the effectiveness of gamifying advertising?
There is. I can't quote you the number, but people are much more likely to play a game than they are, click through to a game than they are to click through
The ad itself, is it as effective and that's included in the game as if they were to voluntarily click on it without consent for the game to click on the ad?
What we found is that it really is all driven by the incentive of the prizes. If you take away the prizes, then is this game more exciting than playing Candy Crush or whatever else is out there? And it's not. So, on the other hand, you're not only good at ignoring those banned ads and websites that you visit, you're good at ignoring them in the mobile games that you play too. So, the ads just don't work.
How are you preventing abuse or undesirable users such as little kids or people in India or China that you could just game this and play all day?
Limit the number of times that the game is played. We also, when you register to play the game, every one of you is probably at a local zip code of some kind. If you're within 150 miles of Tampa, you're going to get this demo game board. If you're outside of that, it's going to say we can find a game board for you. So we drive people to a game board that's specific for a market. We did that with radio stations so that we had about a 100-mile radius around their antenna. That was where they were reaching people. And we wanted them to find the station that sent them there with their microphones. That's the way it's designed.
So is that demographic for this? The person that would recognize, is that by age group or young people more likely to do this? Or people that be money more likely to do it?
What we learned with the radio stations, and these were Midwestern states, rural areas, a real mix of age groups, and we could not identify any particular age group that was more prevalent, more likely to play the game than another. We did find that about half of people were playing on computers and half were playing on tablets or smartphones. Yes?
I'm just curious, I noticed that you mentioned the Midwest quite a bit as your test market. Why did you pick up there versus down here?
Why did we pick the Midwest?
The Midwest, yeah.
Well, it kind of picked us. We went to 2 conferences of radio industry annual conventions. One was a special conference in Indianapolis, and we met a lot of radio stations there. We had a booth, and the ones that we wound up piloting with happened to all be in the smaller markets. As it turns out, if you go to a big market, you find people like Clear Channel and Cox and CBS, people that have picked up a lot of big stations in big markets. That's their business. They dominate those. So they also are very proud of the fact that not invented here. They've got their own people figuring out what to do with digital. Thank you very much. So it was easier for us to go to the smaller stations so we could get to the decision. Yes?
Can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you came to start this game?
I have probably the most eclectic background you can find. I have a degree in electrical engineering. I've never really worked at that. I sold computers for IBM to large accounts. And I left IBM to go to work for a little company that became Sprint. I was the 76th employee at that company, and I wound up being responsible for national markets, for vertical markets, and in the process I developed real knowledge about telemedicine, believe it or not, and image transmission. I became an expert on that, and was involved in a lot of research projects with people like Mayo Clinic, Siemens Nanosonics, and the US Army. I wound up licensing some technology from Georgia Tech for remote patient monitoring. I took that company public with NASDAQ Exchange. I merged it with another company, and we started off with a stock price of 75 cents, and it was $47. Within 4 years of the time I founded that company. I've just been doing a lot of entrepreneurial things. Yes.
Based on that background, what is the composition of the team? Who did you bring with you to do it?
I had a friend who started a business in local search, and he wanted some help with that. I helped him for a while. Until I recognized his business model had some big holes in it, and big opportunity. But that's where I came to understand about what the dynamics were in advertising. You know, it's one thing leads to another. I didn't set out to go into advertising. It just kind of hit me in the face, what's this all about? And when I learned that there was this much money going to banner ads and that the click-through rate was so poor, I wanted to know why. So I saw that as the opportunity. Anyway, I'm not sure where all we're going to go with this, but I want to take a chunk of that $15 billion, and it may well be from licensing. I'd love to make enough noise in the marketplace that somebody like Google says, hey, we know how to incorporate that into a bigger scale, and then I'll happily license that off. Yes.
So, how can this community help you grow this business, help you be successful?
We have private placement out. We're looking for $500,000 of funding. Along with that, we're trying to bring in talent, people that have contacts in the advertising business to get us to the right place to get this place. It is a completely outside the box approach to advertising. Nobody's done this before. They just throw up their hands and say, we know banner ads don't work, but hey, they're making money. So that's what we do.
Well, thank you all again for coming. Normally I'm up here to talk about events between, but I have a fun surprise to give away instead. So, as Sean mentioned, we actually have a mailing list that's right in the corner as you leave this room that you can get links to all of these events, or if you have any specific questions, feel free to come see me after. But for you guys that are regulars here, you know a lot about the Listing Room Festival coming up. So I actually have 2 tickets to the event that is on April 3rd at 7 p.m. And how I'm going to figure this out is, since we have such a wonderful, generous sponsor, Caflo, that the last 2.5 years has provided us with free coffee every single week, who can tell me how many locations Caflo has?
6.
Nope.
7.
8.
Nope. 9. 9. There you go. So again, if you want any information, come see me after, but I will go ahead and get out of your way, and please give a warm round of applause for our second presenter, Red Fishberger. Sorry, Fishberger.
My name is Alex Fisher, and I am starting a company, Red Fishberger. A little background about me. I'm founder CEO. And I've worked in professional kitchens for around 21 years, and I've always had a passion for building my own business. I've worked in Toledo, Winchester, Virginia, Pasadena, Bremerton, Washington, and Clearwater, Florida. In Bremerton, I actually did rise up to the level of sous chef. So I have a very big background in food. I'm also a veteran of the United States Submarine Force. I did not cook there. I was an electronics technician. That was too boring for me. I am currently enrolled at SBC working on my business administration AS degree with entrepreneurial certificates. While I was working in the kitchens, I was allowed a lot of creative freedom by a lot of the chefs that I worked for. So I was able to create new dishes, experiment with different flavor combinations and how they went together. I was also able to learn different styles of cooking. Two of my favorites were Cajun and Southwest cooking. You know, I love spicy food. I also learned recipe development. You know, and this gave me the confidence to be able to say, you know, I have something here that I can start a business with. The two flavors that are going to make Red Fishberger work, all the sauces, we're going to have a line of pepper sauces and a line of barbecue sauces. All the sauces will be made with a combination of fresh Florida fruit and chili peppers. Our first sauce is the first of our inaugural sauces is the fiery mango, which combines mangoes and habanero peppers. And the combination of these two in this sauce makes a really sweet heat. And anybody who is familiar with hot sauces knows that if you go and get a hot sauce, it's going to have a vinegar base. None of my hot sauces will have a vinegar base. They're all citrus based. So it brings quite a different flavor. The second inaugural sauce is the smoked orange barbecue, which combines chipotle peppers with Florida oranges. And these two added to the house barbecue sauce recipe that I came up with over the years. It brings a nice smoky heat that has a back end heat. It's not as hot as the fiery mango, but there is a little kick to it. The construction process of Red Fishberger, as this is the first company I've ever attempted to build. I started on October 1st, 2014, and I formed the LLC on March 5th, 2015 because I learned through school that it would be smarter to separate myself from the business entity. Just recently, I brought on a silent investor because right now we are we have a deadline for our start date to be on the market, and I needed an investor to be able to get over that hump. And so I presented it to the investor, and he agreed. He bought a small share of the company. Manufacturing, going into this business, I was going to do everything, manufacturing everything. I just recently started a couple weeks ago talking to the Department of Agriculture about getting my manufacturing permits, and the way that was looking, it was going to delay my start time and probably set me back until June. So I took another option. I just signed a couple days ago with the Sauceology Group. They're going to be manufacturing the products, and they'll keep us right on track. I do not have any employees. I'm the only employee, but I did assemble a team of advisors. I have a mentor from Linda Goldfarb. She has been a great help in guiding me in the right direction of how to go about things. And I also have many different advisors. Some are, the top three are free. Well, the top one is I get out paid for schools. But I do use LegalZoom for if I have legal questions. You know, they have that service. Lizango is a website building company out of California that has built my website up, and they're great. They have a great team that's working with me. And like I said, I just signed with Sauceology, and they're actually, not only are they manufacturing, but because their business is to make as much product. For them to make money, they have to make as much product as they can. So they're going to help me push the product as well. The Availability, we're debuting on the market on April 9th. And that will be, on that day, you'll be able to buy online on the website. The website is up and running right now. Lozanco is currently in the works of building out the page to purchase the products from. We'll also be doing trade shows and festivals. Our debut will be at the Pinellas Spectrum Festival right here at Pinellas Park. That is on April 9th. And we'll also be at the Florida Festival of Flavor and Fire. We'll be looking to get placement on retail shelves and placement in restaurants. And you can follow us. You can sign up for the newsletter at redfishburger.com. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn.
Perfect at the recipe that you want to produce and mass produce, and you have a plan for if the company grows multiple floors, you have a plan to scale it up and manufacturing it.
Yes, the recipe has been perfected, and the sauceology group will be able to help us scale up. And down the road, we'll also be expanding the barbecue sauce line and the pepper sauce line, so we'll be adding more products as we grow.
Is there anything about the ingredients of these sauces that is special? Are they locally sourced ingredients? Are they all, is everything from Florida? Is that what you can advertise or drag people in with?
All of the fruit side of it is all Florida fruits. All the native fruits that you find in Florida. And those are all going to be all locally sourced. And I'm working with sauceology right now, so by presenting that idea to the Department of Agriculture to be able to get the fresh from Florida seal put on the label. So yes, all the fruits will be locally sourced.
Okay, but not the peppers. I don't really know how sauceology works. Is that do you give them your recipe and they acquire the stuff, or are you sending them all of the materials?
I signed a non-disclosure agreement with them, so they have the recipes, and they have their own. They've been working with other companies for over 20 years now, and they have local sources for all their produce and everything. The chili pepper side is, the chili peppers are just going to come from wherever in the world, because I just love chili peppers. And there are some chili peppers in Florida, but there are also some chili peppers in other places. The mainstays from Florida will be the fruits.
I happened to have been at a Chili's last night. I ordered some broiled chicken with a mango habanero sauce. I reluctantly tried it because the habanero scared me off, but I'll have to tell you, it was wonderful. I think you got a great combination there.
Yeah, can you tell us how you came up with your name?
Because they decided they're going to get married. One of their friends decided to combine their two last names, which was Fisher and Burger. So they came up with Fishberger. And I didn't hear about this name until they named their dog Barkevius Fishberger. And so I went online. The first thing I did on October 1st, 2014 was to try to find a domain name. And Fishberger was available, but Yahoo had suggestions. And Red Fishberger was right there, so I took it. Yes.
How much is your sauce going to cost?
The barbecue sauce is going to be $5.95 for 12-ounce bottle, and the mango habanero is going to be $9.25 for the 12-ounce bottle.
Do you plan on putting any sampling events in Fort Tampa or in the whole country?
With all the festivals and the shows that we will be attending, you'll be able to come up and sample the sauce to be able to see if you like it or not.
Did I see a logo in there somewhere?
Yes. Good day.
Have you studied your competition, because there are a lot of sauces that exist already on the market, and how do you plan on penetrating the retail market?
I have researched my competition. The hot sauce industry actually is currently growing at a rate of 4.1% annually, and I want a piece of that. And what makes my sauce stand out is the fact that it's not vinegar based like all the other ones. It has a citrus base, which gives it a completely different flavor profile.
And I just want to, I just don't get the red fish burger as a sauce name. Down the Gulf Port, there's a store that sells hot sauces, probably 10,000 models of hot sauce. The only compelling thing when you're looking at a shelf of bottles of hot sauce is the label. It's like buying a bottle of wine, right? It's the most unknown purchase you'll ever make. And so I would just suggest that you really work on that name and logo, and maybe if you want to emphasize the lack of vinegar, get that on that logo somewhere.
Well, the red fish burger is the name of the company. The actual sauces, the mango habanero is called fiery mango, and the orange chipotle barbecue sauce is called smoking orange.
So those are going to be different. The labels are going to be totally.
Yeah, so they'll have the names of the products on it. Those labels are being reworked right now by Sauceology because the previous label guy that I was working with didn't do them correctly.
We were all looking for samples this morning.
I was not able to get samples for this morning. We're not getting the okay. Yes.
Can you explain a little bit more about how you plan to reach the end consumers? Is it going to be all online stuff? Are you going to open up a store? Are you going to do farmers markets? How do you plan on getting it out there?
Getting it out there, there will be farmers markets, the festivals. I just recently got contacted by the Chicago Hot Sauce Festival. They want to send me an application to attend their show up there as well. I'm also using social media as a platform of getting the name out there. The Facebook page already has over 2,000 likes on it, so there's a following building. And also with Sauceology, they're going to help me get into Winn-Dixie, Publix, and other places like that. And the gentleman that mentioned the Red Hot Tea down in Gulfport, I've actually been in contact with them, so they're going to be my first target to get on their store shelves as well.
Because one thing, just to piggyback, sorry, real quick off of his comment is, I love hot sauces, but for me it's hard because you never know what you're going to get. And I've been into a couple places that actually, it sounds so simple, but they give you a Tostitos chip. And you're able to go around and dip and try everything before you buy it. And I always find when stores are that way, I buy more than just guessing off of, as you know, the gentleman pointed earlier, because it was a nice label or it was a funny name. So that was something I would highly recommend to emphasize. And so, however you're getting the product out, to make sure that people have that option to sample it.
At the shows and festivals, I will be giving out samples so everybody can try it. If wants to buy it, wants to try it.
My question is more around the business of hot sauce too. I was thinking the store at Gulfport. So there's probably, you know, a number of people like you that have this hot sauce recipe. They try to bring it to market. They see the manufacturing and regulation from Sauceology sounds like they're in a good spot to help, you know, people get that to market. But what is success in, you know, what is the financial definition of success in hot sauce? Like, what are the top 10 guys in Sauceology making in hot sauce who came through this, or what's the revenue or what's the potential really look like for selling hot sauce when it's such a crowded market like wine? You guys have been on the run.
Well, I've made this with a different flavor profile by switching the think that once that gets out there, that will take off. Because there are, when I was talking to Sauceology yesterday, they were telling me that there were a few people that were trying to get away from the Denver-based hot sauces. They will always be around, because Tabasco is the lead one. But even though there's a lot of hot sauces, there is a group of people in the world that are called Chileans, and they just love to try everything. So, yes.
So I know there's that scale of the hotness of sauce. I can't remember the name of the scale. Yeah. Are you going to be like all over that scale, or are you focusing on some quadrant that's super hot or super mild?
I'll probably be all over that scale because for people that would not be able to handle the fiery mango, would have no problem handling the smoking orange barbecue. I'm not going to just focus on one heat level. You know, my whole focus is just on the flavors, not the heat level. Yes.
I like some hot sauce, but I can't say I'm an expert. How many other, out of all the companies that make the hot sauce, how many of a rough percentage make their sauce with citrus? Are you a small portion, or are there other people? How many? It seems like your citrus is your unique, your uniqueness.
I haven't found them.
If you're the only one, I'd say the judge said you're to rip that up, that you're the citrus-based king.
Did they even know that in Gulfport? For Gulfport people, they would know. You can ask them.
What are with your sauces, do you have like target foods that kind of go good with your sauces? Like steak or actual redfish or burgers?
You can try them on burgers. The barbecue sauce is good on everything you like barbecue sauce on.
Okay.
The mango habanero one is more, it'd be more towards the light end of fish, chicken,
okay.
You know, pork.
You come from the world of celebrity chefs, let's say. Have you given any thought to getting an endorsement or strategic partnership with one of the well-known chefs or restaurants in your city?
I am open to all options. Okay, my goal for this company is to be a national brand.
So are you aggressively pursuing that, or are you just kind of waiting for people to do it for you?
I'm right in the middle right now with that one. Because, you know, I do not have all the contacts, but it's like as soon as I find a contact, I go after that contact aggressively. So, I hope that answers your question.
What specifically can we do to help you? What are you looking for here besides just establishing this?
You're really stealing our thunder. That's all we have going.
What I would be looking for is, you know, just, I'm looking to make more connections with the community. St. Petersburg is my hometown, and I want this brand to be known to be as coming from St. Petersburg, you know, St. Petersburg area. I'm looking to network. The whole reason for this presentation is so I can network with other businesses that can help boost my promotions and all that.
Another one to consider is here in St. Pete, we have the St. Pete store, which uses a jury process to get products in there that are from people who live in St. Pete and have their businesses here in St. Pete. It's right down the street at the Chamber of Commerce, and it gets a ton of like visitor traffic and stuff like that. So I'll follow up with an application for them if you'd be interested.
I would definitely be interested.
How far out are you from having actual products in hand that's ready to put on the shelf or to sell on the internet?
Hey, go back.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Where did you work in
Huh?
Where did you work in
Where did I work in Petersburg? I worked at the Hurricane, the Wharf, Gennaro's, a few places now.
So to follow up to my last question, have you ever thought of, and you talked about targeting restaurants and stuff like that, have you thought about assigning your sauces to certain types of foods? That way, when you target restaurants, you can add it as a specialty sauce or something like that, so they can just put it on their menu or include it in one of their things that they have going?
Honestly, no, I did not think about that, but now that you put that idea in my head, I'll be thinking about that.
Yeah, you mentioned, I think maybe 2 or 3 sauces with price level that kind of have a big gap in it. First of all, do you have, how many sauces do you have ready to come out, and is there any way you can make the price more consistent across the board? I know product cost is a consideration.
There are 2 inaugural sauces, and the reason for the price difference is the price of mangoes and habaneros right now. I just heard that there was whatever's going on down in the Caribbean, something just got lifted, so the price of habaneros might go down. But also the price of mangoes are not cheap right now. So, yes, sir.
A good resource for you may be able for you to get your sauces out in the local community is maybe meet with the large food distributors. What happens with restaurants is when they start up or when they want to launch a new product, the food distributors will host them in their corporate kitchen and make a product. So if you can maybe get in touch with them to start pairing your product with certain types of foods, they'll be another person to push your product for you as well. Number one. Number two, what are you doing to keep your product, because if it explodes and you're the only citizen face, what's to stop someone from kind of copying it if that can happen?
The recipes are under, they're in the process of being copyrighted right now. They're in the hands of the U.S. government. So I have that protection. The logo's also in the process of being trademarked. So I do have those protections right now.
Just kind of piggyback on the patent thing, I guess. One of my buddies is in the paint business, and interestingly enough, they've had the same paint recipe for like 50 years or something like that. And actually don't patent it because after so many years, the patent can become public. So they actually keep their recipes under a vault, lock and key, secret recipe in the family. I don't know, that's something you can think about with that share with you.
I think trademarks are, usually trademarks. The creators are can be
Do you have a strategy to get out the tables with some of the restaurants in this area?
My strategy is, what I'm planning on doing is getting small sample bottles to be able to give to restaurants or to retailers so they can try it to see if they want to sell it in their place.
Can you talk a little bit more about your partnerships with Sauceology? Like what, say, a year down the road, you decide they're not the best distributor for you and you want to go and do this yourself. Are you able to come back and take it yourself, or is it something that you sign like a lifetime agreement with them?
It's not actually a contract. But down the road, when the company becomes larger, it was already in the plans in the future. So once I wasn't able to do it myself, to be able to find a bottler, and because of the hurdles that the Department of Agriculture was throwing at me, I decided to just go ahead and jumpstart and just get right into a bottler right away. And if Sauceology, if I find down the road Sauceology isn't the right one for me, there are a whole lot of other modelers out there in this area that I could join up with.
The other thought I had, kind of similar to what Maurice mentioned, is the things that you can pair this with. So there's food, but are there other retailers out there, other things, you know, Sinking Store or Florida-made wine people, not hot sauce wine going in, but you know, a store that somebody is going into to purchase a Florida food product. This is a Florida food product, you know, something local like that. Have you explored kind of those networks at all? Are there a lot? I don't know. If not, I just came up with a great business. Feel free.
You know, I have visited Red Hot Tiki, and you know, they want the sample and make sure I have all the correct paperwork to be able to get into their store. And there are other options because we live in the tourist area. There are so many. Somebody told me to go check out a store on John's Pass to see if I can get in there. You know, there are so many options for, and if I can, when I get the fresh from Florida seal put on the label, that, you know, that just screams from Florida. So that is all in the works. And my goal I had set goals when I met with my investor, because he wanted to see what kind of goals I had for this year. And my goals were to be at least in 5 retailers by the end of this year, and also to be in talks with Publix. So I have goals to do that. For me, those are achievable goals. I would like to get more, but yes.
I just had a burning thought. Food beer, craft beer is so big right now. And I would love to see you develop a restaurant that could be paired with the different craft beers that are so many things in this market right now.
Back in the past, when I really, all my life, I really kind of wanted to be my own boss. And when I was working in the restaurant industry, I did, at one time, really want to own my own restaurant. But because I've worked in restaurants for so long, I've seen what those owners have to go through, I decided, well, maybe the restaurant isn't for me. But if I, to go along with your thoughts, if I can find a craft beer place that would like to bring on the, you know, matching, I would be up for a partnership with them. But I would definitely not be into owning the restaurant.
Well, when you go to Chicago, I'm going to give you a restaurant there to contact that does craft beer, and my daughter and her partner own it.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
I'm hearing you've got 2 target markets. Priority are on retail, like Publix and stores, adult stores, and so forth, but also through restaurants.
Yeah.
And also, so the question occurs to me, have you considered your product as an ingredient to an existing best-selling brand, so they might include your sauce in their flavor different products? Is that feasible or not?
Actually, it's funny that you bring that up. A friend of mine a couple months ago told me that they had an idea that they want to make their own beef jerky, and that they would like to, you know, use one of my sauces to incorporate into it, and, you know, have the shared promotional. So that idea has come.
I get to ask a final question. One thing real quick to piggyback off Marlene, you have Cigar City and Tampa Bay Brewing Company, both craft breweries that have their own restaurants. So I take a look into those, you know, here locally. But I know you touched on it a little bit earlier, but can you reiterate how we as a St. Pete community can help you grow your business?
Connections. I need connections to all the restaurants, all the, you know, all the little local stores. You know, like I said, I want to be based out of St. Petersburg. Currently, our home is up in Clearwater. But, you know, St. Petersburg will always be the base for this business. And so I'm looking to network and be able to expand my presence by using what we have here in St. Petersburg to get this out nationwide.